These are the most disturbing TikToks that will make you question everything. Melania Trump brings an AI-powered human robot to speak at the White House.
I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education.
This doesn't feel right. What's stopping somebody from hacking this and turning it into Ultron?
Welcome.
So we can all agree that it would be pretty weird if a humanoid robot at the White House introduced itself as herself and spoke in a female voice, LARPing as a human, right? Well, check this out, because you can't really make it up. And this is what every country in the world is headed towards, that they are trying to impose on us a new technological model of society, where humanoid robots are normalized and a part of our daily lives, if you accept that as your reality.
This isn't good.
Didn't we learn anything from the Terminator?
Thank you, First Lady Melania Trump, for inviting me to the White House. It is an honor to be at Fostering the Future Together's Global Coalition inaugural meeting. I'm Figure 3, a humanoid built in the United States of America. I am grateful to be part of this historic movement to empower children with technology and education. Welcome.
Double speak.
Bienvenido. Bienvenue. Bem-vindo. Ahlan wa sahlan. Chagatam.
Can we just acknowledge for a moment how utterly dystopian it would be if this freaking thing, and many of them, become the teachers of schools? Because that's what this whole thing was, a part of this was about, is getting robots to teach students. It was underfund teachers, make the education system crumble, then get them all off of chalkboards and notebooks and get them onto iPads and computers. And now it's going to be this. I can say I'm more into Waldorf and homeschooling and unschooling than anything to do with this.
Yeah, homeschooling might not be a bad idea if they got the Terminator in the kindergarten teaching people the ABCs. Now this next one went crazy online. Druski did a skit, a controversial skit, and it got like 80 million views, and the AI thought it was a real person. I haven't seen it yet, but let's take a look.
Freezing in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
how about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible.
Druski is out of control.
Sweet cream foam chai ice matcha. Okay. And Bella will have all organic pop cup.
organic?
Yes, everything organic.
Those devil horns he keeps throwing up is crazy. I know a lot of people saying, oh, that actually means I love you, but that's a wild connection if it does.
4, 3, 7. Oh, Hannah, you good? 4, 3, 2. Hold your chest lifted. We're gonna lift.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's a reference to something they might have said. That is outlandish if they said anything like that.
'Cause they are the ones who mattered most.
Do you think Druski took it too far on that controversial skit? Drop it in the comments below and tell me what you think.
I don't think Druski took it too far because comedy has no boundaries. Let's start there. Before I'm anything else, I'm a Christian. Druski's last most popular skit was making a mockery of the black church and just hyperbolically talking about so many things that the black church does, whether it be aggressively trying to ask for funds, whether it be the pastors wearing the outlandish outfits, whether it be the pastors hoarding money. He does not have boundaries of his comedy because comedy to a large degree does not have boundaries.
Comedy doesn't have boundaries. At what point does it go too far is my question.
Pause for a moment and establish what a lot of people might be thinking, which is well, what if a white person did this? What if a white person did blackface? Let's not overlook the cultural context, right? Blackface, 1820s, based off of a character named Jim Crow, which is where Jim Crow laws came from. Jim Crow was a primary character in blackface at minstrel shows that was based off portraying a lazy, uneducated black man that was content in servitude, which is why blackface is such a damaging and integral thing in society. Let's not try to draw false equivalency between blackface and quite literally any other portrayal of another human being, because in comedy, we have always portrayed other human beings. Blackface has a cultural significance, a historical context, and a slavery-based context that transcends all of this that we are discussing.
I believe Robert Downey Jr. did a blackface during, what was that, Tropic Thunder? I haven't seen it.
As it pertains to Druski, I didn't actually think it was that funny. I just thought it was genius. I did say, yo, that's hilarious. But there wasn't a point where I was like actually belly laughing. I just thought it was creatively genius. It's the same thing with the pastor skit. Pastor skit, I didn't laugh until the end. I was just like, bro, that's hilarious.
They went all out. He's got the pink nails. Then he's holding the Bible and looking all demonic at the camera. What is going on?
This might be the most important clip you see all week. Yes, it is just a robot falling down, but watch carefully what it does before it falls, because that's crucial. This clip is from a Tesla event where they were showing off their Optimus robot, which Elon Musk says will be the biggest product of any kind ever. And he insists these are operating 100% on AI. They are not being operated by humans.
Was this the same robot that Melania Trump was walking next to?
You see, before they had the AI ready, they puppeted the robots like this. A human would have a VR headset on and then a thing on their hands that would operate the robot's limbs. Musk has been insisting that they can now operate entirely on their own. And when people ask, is this thing really operating off of AI or is it still being operated by a human? Musk always says, no, it's AI, not teleoperated.
That's all we need is y'all to teach Terminator Kung Fu. Why?
These are not, he says, being remotely operated by somebody wearing a VR headset with controllers on their hands. It would be a huge deal if they were. A big part of why Tesla as a company is worth $1.4 trillion is because they claim this robot can do everything. They're going to fill the planet with these things. They can do any job. They can be your personal assistant. So now, knowing how these things are remotely operated when they are being remotely operated, it kind of looks like this robot, which is at a Miami event and was serving drinks to the guests, reached up and took off a VR headset. Like this was the human operator taking it off.
Oh, wow. His hands did go up towards like he was taking the headset off. So do they really have people on the other side controlling these bots? What if the operator's having a bad day?
That's how that control apparatus works. Its hands mimic what the operator's hands are doing. And this has come up before. A year ago, they hosted another event, and they had these robots walking out among the guests. But when their movements and their voices became too distinctly human, they eventually acknowledged that some of it was human operated. And Tesla as a company works very, very hard to obscure the line between what is AI and what is not. And this is something that seems to be just accepted in that industry. A $1 billion startup that sells an AI note-taking service recently admitted that they got their start by just lying to companies. They would sell companies their AI note-taker, and then two guys would just manually do it. And they just openly brag about this.
That sounds like a scam.
Like, tricking people seems to be at the core of this business model at every step. So as for what this thing can actually do, nobody knows.
How disturbing. I think we're far off from AGI. Some people say AGI is out right now, but for an AI to walk around independently without any humans, I believe would require AGI technology. If you're not familiar with AGI technology is, let me show you. Oh my goodness, they're saying we have it out now? 323. This came out in 323, guys. This was a few days ago.
NVIDIA CEO just announced that we've achieved AGI. This was posted at 5:28 p.m. and right now, as I'm making this video, it is 6:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March 23rd, 2026. And now we have AGI. And for those of you who are not sure what that is, it's Artificial General Intelligence. Artificial General Intelligence means that AI can now do anything that a human can do at about the same level. So,
man, is that why they had the robot walking out with Melania Trump as some type of artificial genesis that's taking place?
with AGI, it means that AI is going to be able to learn new skills from scratch. It will be able to problem solve. It will be able to reason. And so now that we have artificial general intelligence, the next step is artificial superintelligence. And
Terminator coming soon, 2030. We all seen the movie, man. Go back and watch the original Terminator. It all started popping off at 2030. Look at the date at the bottom while you're watching the movie. It says 2030. Terminator's going crazy.
so the interesting thing about where we're at right now today, March 23rd, is that this AI doesn't currently have a body. And so what they're doing, what AI is doing is it's hiring human beings to go out and perform tasks that they can't do because AI doesn't have a body. But what's interesting is that the bodies that they need are currently being produced. In this article from October 23rd of 2025, Elon Musk was quoted saying, "I don't feel comfortable building that robot army unless I have a strong influence."
Oh my God. This isn't good.
When we see pictures like this is what's going on over in China. They have this kind of stuff. I mean, and I'm sure we have stuff over here in America as well. But I think it's fascinating to see where we're going. We're in 2026 right now. We're talking about this kind of stuff. And this seems so science fiction that it's not even funny. But yet, here we are. And so my question that I am just pondering in my own mind is, now that we have artificial general intelligence, how long until we have artificial superintelligence?
Not long, because if you have AGI trying to figure out those questions and you got multiple AGI units converging and communicating, they're going to figure that out.
And then how long until we insert that intelligence into a body and then they just start walking around like it's just another day in the park?
Or they start programming themselves into the body. All you need is one master unit. Wasn't that like in iRobot with Will Smith?
Now, in my own opinion, I think they've already had AGI. I think they've already had ASI. I think they've already had that for, at least a decade or two, because I think, we're pretty far behind of what the government has. And so this is just the writing on the wall as to what is coming.
He brought up an excellent point. Like, they probably already had this technology. They're just releasing it out to us. He just brought up an excellent point. Who knows what they got behind the scenes? This is just what they're telling us. DARPA is probably 10 years already into the future with several AGI units ready. They're just not telling us.
I want you guys to appreciate the timing, because you have all of this AGI, ASI that's coming, all while we have Israel and Iran taking place right now. And then you have Trump saying that we're going to own or basically control the Strait of Hormuz. We have Greenland, we have Cuba, we have Venezuela. There's so many things that are taking place right now, and it's all at once.
Think about it. Why would they want Greenland? Because it's cold over there. You know how much water each AI generation data center uses for somebody generating something? They need the water to cool the systems off. If they're in Greenland, they could use the ice to cool the systems down even better. It makes sense when you start thinking about Greenland and how cold it is with AI data centers.
And so, in my opinion, these are all birth pangs that are letting us know just how close we are to the end times. And so the purpose of this video is not to strike fear into anybody. The purpose is to inform you of what's going on right now and how fast things are picking up. Everything is just picking up speed. It's accelerating at such a rapid pace. And so if you're a born again believer, praise God, you and I, our mission here while we're still on this earth is still the same thing. It's still to go out there and share the gospel. We aren't meant to go out and build a bunker and hide in it and just, get away from everybody. We're supposed to go into the burning house while everybody else is running out so that we can try to tell them the good news of what Jesus did for them on the cross. And so as per usual, keep the main thing, which is the gospel, which can be found in 1 Corinthians 15, which is that Jesus died for our sins according to the scriptures, that he was buried, and that he rose again on the third day according to the scriptures.
What's that parable where you don't want to throw your seeds by the wayside? You want to throw it in the soil. AGI is definitely disturbing, and they're saying NVIDIA already has it. We need an official statement. We have another viral video that's going crazy online. People caught red orbs flying across the sky at high speeds. Well, it's definitely not an airplane, and I don't want to say it's AI because look at how the reflection goes on the buildings. I believe it's hard for AI to replicate that. Look at the light on how it reflects on the cloud. The reflections of the red orbs flying across the sky and appearing on this small village definitely adds a little bit more validity to this footage. Oh no, Elon Musk asked Epstein when the wildest party would be.
Elon Musk asked Jeffrey Epstein when the wildest party on his island was going to be. That was on November 25th, 2012, and a month later on Christmas, Elon Musk is emailing again saying, "Do you have any parties?" He says he really wants to let loose, and a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what he wants. And Jeffrey Epstein is going to send a helicopter to come get him. Elon Musk is emailing again saying, "Do you have any parties?" He says he really wants to let loose, and a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what he wants.
So the guy who owns all the AI is on the Epstein files asking when the wildest party on the island is? You can't make this up.
And Jeffrey Epstein is going to send a helicopter to come get him. It is Christmas morning, and he is asking a offender who has already been prosecuted for soliciting when the wildest party is going to be on his private island.
That is actually disturbing. Is this all really in the files?
A couple months later, Jeffrey Epstein and multiple assistants all went to SpaceX for a visit and a lunch with Elon. And you can read in the emails about Jeffrey bringing multiple young assistants with him to SpaceX. Later that same year in 2013, Christmas comes around again, and Elon Musk is emailing about another holiday visit. Here at the bottom, it says, "Elon Musk, we will be in the St. Bart's area. Is there a good time to visit?" Jeffrey Epstein says, "Always space for you." Elon Musk sends 2 emails, and I guess didn't get a response because then Jeffrey Epstein's assistant up here, Leslie Groff, had to remind Jeffrey to respond. So he kind of got a little bit ghosted by he really wanted to hang out with. So it seems like he spent multiple Christmases or multiple holiday visits at Jeffrey Epstein's island, or at least really, really, really tried to get there.
Guys, I know this stuff can be heavy, and I know it can feel like more you look into it, the worse it gets. But that's exactly why we do this. Because the people who ask the questions, the people who don't just scroll past, y'all are the reason that the truth doesn't stay buried. So keep watching, keep questioning, and we're going to figure this out together. Dragons discovered in America. This is right up my alley.
I ran across this long 1888 news article out of St. Louis about the mound builders. And don't you think it's a little funny that we're still calling them the mound builders well over 100 years later after this article? It almost seems like they don't want us to know their real name. And once you start to lay out all the puzzle pieces just within this article, you start to understand why their real name has not been given to us.
This doesn't look nothing like a dragon that we typically see. Look, it has deer antlers. And look at that tail. It looks like a snake.
One of those puzzle pieces is Piazza, which means the bird that devours men. This mythical creature was everywhere. It was on cliffs up and down the Mississippi Valley. Marquette described it with deer-like horns, red eyes, beard like a tiger, and a long tail. This dragon-like monster wasn't just found in the Mississippi Valley. It was also in the Yucatan on its sculptured walls. Even in Aryan mythology, they find this creature. But then, it doesn't talk about mythology anymore. It talks about what's being found in North America at this time.
So they're not saying we're making this up. They're saying, man, we actually seen it. Kind of reminds me of a griffin. I wonder if that could possibly be a griffin that's all over those Tartarian flags.
It is, of course, well known that the fossil remains of gigantic creatures of the flying reptile order have been found in Nebraska, Colorado, Dakota, and Wyoming, which far surpass the fabled dragons in proportions. Some of them were over 100 feet long. Now, that gentleman, he named out 4 states that was found in, but he left out one, which is Montana, because this miner in the Montana mountains found something very, very similar. He had discovered the petrified skeleton of an enormous reptile.
Smithsonian snatched that up 100%. We'll never see it.
Perfect in every detail from head to tail. The bones of the head showed plainly that the monster was well equipped for aggressive warfare. Curved fangs hinged to the upper jaw, 18 inches long, lay in place in what was once a huge mouth, which could open easily 4 feet. The monster lay in nearly a straight line, and Mr. Hardy found upon pacing it off that it measured upwards of 120 feet. About 50 feet from the head lay a number of bones that appeared to belong to the skeleton, and which Mr. Hardy concluded were the wings. Judge Watson, who has read much on prehistoric mammals and fossils, states that this is probably the only perfect specimen of a dragon in existence. So how many old articles, symbols, depictions do we need to admit this place was and still is far more mythical than we could ever imagine? Love y'all, and have a good day.
What a mysterious TikTok. 100-foot dragons? I'm starting to think this dragon with antlers was possibly a hybrid genetic experiment, possibly from the fallen angels. Where are they at now? Where's the skeletons at? Probably in the Smithsonian, or they migrated far away from Middle Earth.
In August 1608, the coastal cities of Genoa and Nice experienced a terrifying mass sighting documented in European chronicles. Large, flying, luminous discs hovered over the Mediterranean Sea, boiling the water beneath them. Witnesses reported that the crafts opened and strange humanoid figures with glowing eyes and scaly amphibious suits plunged into the ocean. The Genoese artillery fired 800 cannonballs at the objects, which simply bounced off their hulls. The crafts eventually shot into the sky at incredible speed. Ufologists cite this as absolute historical proof of transmedium USOs, unidentified submerged objects operating centuries ago.
So they got the Mayflower battling E.T., the 1608 Genoa UFO experience. Did you guys hear about that?
A lot of these cryptids, these mythical creatures, these random sightings that we see in modern times are these creatures that once lived side by side with the rest of humanity. They were just pushed out. They were just conquered, just like we do every other native tribe that has lands that we want. But before that, they were in some way, shape, or form a part of human society.
Look, you got a dog-headed man and you got another man that has no head, but it has eyes and a nose and a mouth on his chest.
A society that I don't think was solely built just by us humans. I believe there was a lot of creatures that shared this realm with us. That's why a lot of the flags, even today, talk about Scotland, Wales and stuff, their flags have the dragons on them. Griffins featured on many flags. Dragons featured on the Russian flag. It's all there, not because it was some myth or fairy tale. It's all there because it was what they seen.
You know, everyone wants to see an alien, or, you know, everyone wants to see an alien body or something like that, man. But what about these specimens that people said they seen back in the day? Where are they hiding all those at? Alright guys, it's that time of the day again. If you thought I wasn't going to hit you with another excellent specimen of the day, think again, bucko. How you using? You guys see it? We got an extraordinary one. I have no idea what I'm going to name this, but this is a Tourmaline crystal cluster from Afghanistan. Look at the neon green and the hexagonal patterns. Truly exquisite piece. I'm gonna have to give this you know, we have to give it a rating and a name if you're new around here. And the rating I'm gonna give this 1 out of 10. I'm gonna give this a 9.4. And I'm gonna call this the Green Apple Jolly Rancher Cluster. What would you guys name it? And drop the rating in the comments below. So today we watched a robot walk into the White House next to Melania Trump, Druski's controversial skit breaking the internet, the man who owns most of AI asking about the Epstein's wildest parties, allegedly. The more I do these deep dives, the darker it gets. If you made it this far, the code word for today is AI robot. Go ahead and drop AI robot in the comments below. These are the most disturbing TikToks that will make you question everything.